Hey everybody, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft and I'm here for another Heart of the Swarm broadcast. And I'm going back into the DreamHack replay folder just to find some more sick replays for you guys, because there's a lot of games here that were played in the group stages that were not broadcast yet, and I really wanted to bring these out to you guys, especially with players of high caliber. And this one should be pretty exciting because this is going to be featuring E.G. Huck as the red Protoss player in the bottom left-hand corner of Planet S, and his opponent is going to be Leenock, the blue Zerg player in the top right-hand corner. So this is going to be Leenock versus Huck, a PvZ, or a ZVP I should say, and very, very excited for this. I actually haven't casted a game of Huck in forever. I was looking back on my YouTube channel, trying to find the last time I casted a Huck replay, and it has been some time. So very cool, very excited to bring Huck back here onto my channel, and he's going to be playing one of the best Zergs from Korea. Leenock is regarded to be a monster, and I'm very excited to bring this to you guys. This is from the group stage 3 of DreamHack Stockholm. There are some other replays I'll be doing outside of DreamHack, obviously. There's actually a 6th set that just came out from Zotac, and I'll be doing that in the next couple of days. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this game here. We actually have Leenock throwing down a spawning pool, and Huck, of course, being annoying with that probe, just zapping the drone for a little bit. I'm curious, for those of you guys who like to race cars, I'm actually going out to my very first track day event tomorrow. So I'm really, really excited to do that. I actually love cars, and I was just wondering how many of you guys like to go autocrossing or tracking or anything like that and take your cars out for high performance driving. I don't know, just post it down in the comments below. I thought I'd just bring that up because I am going to my first track day tomorrow, and it's going to be at Thunder Hill Raceway in somewhere in California, where it's really, really hot. But yeah, it should be pretty fun, and maybe I'll post a video of it or something. I don't know, we'll see. I have a GoPro, so if it lasts, the battery lasts that long. But yeah, anyways, Zerg versus Protoss here, Leenock versus Huck. We do have this probe zapping the drones for a little bit more, of course using the DreamHack overlay here as is required when you cast replays from their sets. And Huck here is blocking the front door with a gateway. It's hard to tell here. Gateway, forge, and pylon. And you know, the one thing about Huck that I must say, that kind of his strategy, his playstyle, if you could define it, is he's a very aggressive Protoss. He does like to be aggressive on one base. That was kind of his claim to fame back in Wings of Liberty. To be honest with you guys, I haven't seen Huck's playstyle as of late. I heard that he still keeps that aggressiveness, but he's also evolved to be able to play, you know, multiple base strategies and as such. So we do see him going for a Nexus here, an expansion, but you can never count Huck out to maybe even go for some type of a two base all-in as well. A lot of Protoss like to do that against Zerg. Meanwhile, we do have these Zerglings from Leenock busting down this pylon here. The pylon is in the yellow, but I think the photon cannon is about to come up, so I think Leenock won't be able to get through, and just in case, Huck here is going to go ahead and throw down a couple pylons more behind this wall just to ensure, and I think he'll end up canceling these, and maybe not. Maybe he'll just let him go up because he will need the supplies. So there it is. But speaking about Huck's aggression, Leenock is also a very aggressive Zerg player. You know, if you guys have ever seen Leenock play before, he is balls out crazy. He could just, you know, he can go for 2 base all-ins, he can go 1 base all-in, he can do everything, and he's a very good macro player as well, which makes him so dangerous. As is the case with a lot of Korean Zergs, you know, July Zerg, Jaedong, Leenock. I'm sure I'm forgetting more names, but those are the ones that come up to mind. You know, this should set up to be a pretty interesting game if both of these guys try to aggro each other, but we'll see what happens. We do have pneumatized carapace coming right now from the hatchery that is available, of course, at hatchery now, no longer requiring layer, and a lot of Zergs tend to get that just to get that extra speed. We do have the infamous hill here on Neo Planet S, where we've seen countless battles occur as Terrans try to control the high ground with their tanks and widow mines and whatnot. Of course, in this matchup, Protoss will be the ones that are looking to control that hill if this match ends up going into the late game. It's absolutely vital, basically being the king of hill here on Neo Planet S. A lot more production coming out of the buildings here at the front door, and we do have another gateway being added on right now from Huck. He was adding on a couple more. He is not going for the Stargate strategy, which is pretty popular in PvZ, rather sticking more to his guns and staying with gateway ground units. And we do have another drone coming out from Leenock, and it looks like he wants to make another hatchery. But he might just be checking the top left-hand side first for any proxy pylons. And a lot of times Protoss players like to proxy their pylons over here as well because, oh, we just saw Huck click over there, so... yeah, a lot of times Protoss players like to put a pylon here because if you warp down Zealots, it's not too much of a travel distance to get over to that third hatchery, and it's great just for scouting vision as well, so it's a very popular spot to throw down one of your pylons as more Zerglings are coming down into the middle of the field here, and Leenock is looking to maybe do a little bit more aggression or maybe just to hold the front door down and contain Huck for as long as he possibly can, but Huck will not be contained on the ground because he is actually adding on a Stargate here, which is... Oh no, he canceled it. I was gonna say it's interesting to add. Oh my god! So he is gonna be going for a 8-gate all-in. I was gonna say 7 gates, but 8-gate all-in here from Huck. And meanwhile, the Mothership Core has made a guest appearance. It is gonna try to take down the hatchery by herself, but as strong as she may be, she is not manned or gunned enough in order to be able to take down a hatchery. So that hatchery will stay alive. And the interesting thing here is you can see that Leenock used his speed overlord to see the Stargate, and then Huck is gonna try to be tricky here, and he's canceled it, and he's just gonna go for an 8-gateway all-in. Now, the question is, will Leenock be prepared for this? And Leenock has to keep his Zerglings here at the front door. This is so vital. If he can see the impending forces here, then he'll be able to get more ground troops accordingly. But unfortunately for him, the forces are actually warping up to the north, and Leenock is actually getting Hydralisks right now in anticipation of air units. Now, the Hydralisks, you know, they're good against air. They can be good against ground as well, but they really need roaches in front of them to tank the damage without Hydra speed. You cannot maneuver away from Zealots and Stalkers, and here comes Huck's Zealots. He's actually going to end up revealing his forces before a second cycle of warp-in, and I really felt like he should have waited for more forces because now, I'm not sure if he has enough to take out these Hydras. He is going to try to go for it. Nevertheless, Time Warp Field coming down, that is going to help quite a bit. But then again, the Zealots are already in melee range, so how much it helps, not too sure, I suppose, as the Hydras are going to be able to take down the Zealots. And that is a terrible start for Huck, who is trying to go all in with this strategy, but to be honest with you guys, it lacks effectiveness when this 8-gate all-in, when you reveal your forces this early on. Now at this point, I mean, Leenock knows. He knows this is coming, and you know, the Overseer's coming in just to make sure, but I don't think Leenock even needs to scout with the Overseer. He knows that this is an 8-gate all-in from Huck, and I'm not sure if Huck is going to have enough to win this battle. He's adding on a Templar Archives right now. He's going to try to get up to Templars for Storm or Archons, which is a good idea, but the time it's going to take to get Templars out is going to allow Leenock time to get a lot of Hydras out. And if he wants to, he can add on Roaches as well, but I think Leenock is just going to go with mass Hydras here, stack the Hydras up. And we do have a couple of Archons coming for Huck who realize he cannot wait for the Storm upgrade, and so he's just going to try to go for it with Zealot, Sentry, Archon. And will this be effective? I have no idea. He's adding on Charge right now. It's going to be a long time before that finishes, and I don't think he's going to be able to bust through this area, especially with the rocks here, which will funnel everything into the choke point. Force fields are coming down, but they are not so effective against Hydras, especially since these Hydras have Hydra range, and this is one of the few times that I will actually say Hydra range is a better upgrade to get first before Hydra speed, because it completely neuters force field's effectiveness. You don't really need to micro away from an army like this when you're holding the high ground. Your purpose and your goal is to stand your ground. And so I really like what Leenock's done, and now Hydra speed is finished as well, so that is going to make things extra difficult for Huck. And I don't know if he's going to be able to win this fight. He will need to get that charge upgrade finished much faster. And he is just going to be forced to fight here. I think he doesn't really have a choice. And is he going to go for another Nexus to try to expand and macro out of this dire situation? I guess maybe that is his only option here, but there is a Changeling holding its position there, preventing the Nexus from coming down. Finally, Huck destroys it, and he is actually going to try to expand. Now, the thing is, if Huck can hold off these Hydras, it might... Oh, he's going to lose the upgrade on the Forge. If he can hold off these Hydras and hold on to the Nexus, then he might be okay. And if he can kill off all these Hydras, that would be great as well. It looks like he will be able to get the Hydras surrounded into his natural expansion. Force Field's not the best, though, really preventing his Zealots from getting in range. Those Hydras are loving the Force Fields. Finally, though, Huck will clean it up. And I think that's exactly what Huck needed. A complete demolishing of Leenock's forces and the opportunity to get the third expansion down. But Leenock is going to continue with his aggression here. You know, he's still got the edge. If Huck can hold on to this Nexus down to the south, then he might be alright. We'll see. More Hydras and Zerglings are coming to occupy the main army, though, and Leenock is going to try to go for either a surround or he's going to send these Zerglings into the Nexus. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. Going to go for the Nexus with the Zerglings and occupy the ground troops with his Hydras. Templars don't have enough for Storm. Storm is not even finished yet, and the surround comes in from the Zerglings, and Huck's forces completely surrounded and destroyed. Nothing that Huck can do. And that is bad news for Huck. I think he is going to lose this game. Leenock just completely crushing him, and Leenock is victorious. So that was actually a pretty one-sided match. I was hoping to see both of these guys take it out on each other for a little bit, but Huck just, I guess, going for the all-in just didn't pay off. And I do think maybe if he had waited a little longer up here and waited for more forces to warp in, you know, when you go for that 8-gate all-in, I think it's better to wait until you have a little bit, maybe one more cycle of units before you attack. I guess the just unfortunate thing for him is Leenock started making a lot of Hydras, and with that many Hydras, he was just kind of stopped the 8-gate cold in its tracks. So anyways, that is GG. I will have another game coming out for you guys today, so stay tuned, and this is HD signing out.